I have recently just finished a game called Mouse PI for Hire. A lot of people that I've talked to, that I've associated with, have called this game the Cuphead first person shooter. And I don't think that they are entirely wrong. I also feel like it's got a lot of Cuphead influence in this game. But before I continue on, something I do want to say is this footage that you're seeing right now is from a past stream that I did near the end game. I tried to avoid spoilers. I tried to avoid everything. So if you have not played the game, I just wanted to warn you and give you the heads up now that you may see something that could be a spoiler. But something I wanted to say along the lines of it is a Cuphead first person shooter. It is. I know some people might get upset by that because technically Cuphead is its own entity, but also Mouse PI for Hire is its own entity, but it has clear influence from Cuphead. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a fantastic way. The art style, the way the game looks, the way the game feels, it just has that Cuphead vibe to it. The animation is wonderful. It's beautiful. The black and white, I thought I was going to get tired of it for a minute there. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was wonderful. And also the reloading animations were amazing, fantastic. I loved that. There's a brief section close to the end game that instead of it being black and white, it's actually it's got these bright, vibrant colors. And it was wonderful seeing that. It was a shock, but it was only one small section and you had a boss fight in that section and it was beautiful. Another thing that I wanted to talk about when it came to Mouse PI for Hire was the variety of guns. I was not anticipating or expecting that many guns to be in the game. I do not know the exact number off of the top of my head at the moment, but what I can say is that there was a lot more than I thought. One of my favorite guns was a gun you don't unlock until near the end of the game. I call it the mind gun. I don't know actually what else to call it. It is a gun that you shoot and it makes this beautiful, wonderful noise that is just, it sounds like a laser gun from Star Trek, the old one. And it's fantastic. It's wonderful. The guns though, the shotguns, you had multiple different shotguns. The pistol was bar none my favorite. The pistol is usually always my favorite in games lately. I feel as if the pistol is always just a solid choice. But especially in Mouse PI for Hire, when you play as Jack Pepper, the pistol just feels right for this noir black and white detective game. It feels great. It feels right at home. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is the voice acting in this game was absolutely superb. And I'm not just talking about our wonderful individual Troy Baker. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about the individuals that you just talked to here and there, the random quips you get from enemies. Everything was just so well done. Maybe this is just me, but I think the voice acting has a lot to do with keeping me in a game. If the voice acting is bad, if it's choppy, if it's weird, I usually don't find myself loving the game. I don't find myself engaged with the characters. Maybe that's just me being picky. High standards. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. To be fair, there are a lot of games that I play. For instance, the game that I would like to reference is Celeste. No voice acting in that game whatsoever, just weird little noises. And that also is fantastic. It's all about the environment. And I think something that the Mouse PI for Hire that does fantastic is the environment of the world. Everything just feels so lived in. Everything feels wonderful. There's social issues that happen in the game. There's other issues that have been happening in the game. You get glimpses of Jack Pepper's past, but not as in, flashback, but he'll just say something here and there to people that you're talking to about some of the past things that he's dealt with and the war that he went to. And it's awesome. I loved those lore drops. Those lore drops really did keep me in the world. I will say something that I really enjoyed about this game is the aesthetic, the black and white, the noir, the detectiveness, everything was fantastic. And shockingly, this game was pretty violent. It was pretty violent. And that's something that genuinely made me go, what? I wasn't expecting it to be this violent. But honestly, tomato, tomato, if you don't like the violence, which I have seen some people be like, I'm not into that. That is absolutely fair. But me personally, it's not like I'm a violent person, but I just enjoy playing games like this. It's fun. Turn off my brain for a little bit, shoot a couple bad guys, and go back at it. Another thing that shocked me about this game was the upgrades. It felt like there were so many, and the upgrades that I should backtrack and say that I'm talking about is like the platforming upgrades. There was platforming sections, so there was multiple different upgrades that you have. You can wall run. You had your tail spin really fast in the air, and you could hover. You had a double jump, but it felt like it added to the overall quality of the game. And I thought I was going to be a hater of the platforming sections in this game, but I actually think they were done really well. And I say this with a very full heart because I will say this now. Some of the platforming sections in first-person shooters are just bad. They're one of the worst things ever in that game. And a lot of the times, I feel like when I don't enjoy a first-person shooter is when I'm like, oh, I got to do this platforming section. Why? This is bad because the game is not made for that. But I felt like the platforming sections and the mechanics of it were integrated very well in Mouse PI for Hire. Something about this game kept me intrigued and kept me wanting to see more of the story. And that's amazing. That's wonderful. I would spend $30 US currency again to play this game. If I was in a different area, different world, I would. It was an enjoyable experience. It was wonderful. I will say the things that kept me in it were like the boss fights I thought were really inventive. They were somewhat easy because, to be fair, I did not play on the hardest difficulty. But the boss fights were great. They were wonderful. They felt inventive. They felt fresh. They felt something that I wanted to see what the next boss fight was going to be. And I haven't done that in a minute since probably Elden Ring, which has been a while. But I will say that overall, the game I really enjoyed. I really had a great time. But there was something, in my opinion, that kept me wanting to play the game more. It was the secrets. For some weird reason, when you have two different spots you're supposed to go, okay, right is the main quest, left is somewhere else. And I could find these mysteries, these secrets. It felt very fun, going through like a maze, figuring out a lockpicking mechanism, doing all of that. It was great. It was a good time. But overall, and this is where I have to be harsh, and this is where I have to be truthful with myself, and I feel like the people that watch me play it, it was an all right game. That sucks to say. With all this positivity that I have said about it, because I think it does deserve praise for those things. I think any game, for the positive aspects of a game that it has, deserves praise for that. But it just lacked something for me. I've been thinking about it for literally the entire time that I've been making this video, the entire time I made the scripts, the everything. I don't know exactly what was lacking. But there was something that just was missing for me. Maybe it was the lack of the detective aspect. Like, you are a detective, but something that I enjoy about detective games is being the detective, figuring it out. And maybe I might be a little slow when it comes to those kinds of things. That's who I am as a person. I hate to say it, and a lot of people, by a lot of people I mean my friends, have asked me what would I rate the game, and I feel guilty of saying that I would rate this game a 7 out of 10. I just feel like there, in other aspects, it was lacking. I loved it. I thought the game was great. It was good. It was good. It was a good game. It was made well. It was finished. It didn't feel rushed like a lot of games do lately. It just, in my personal opinion, it just felt a little lacking. And I feel like that's fair. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making it. Mouse BI for Hire is a good game. It really is a good game. Not my personal favorite, but it was good. It was a fun time. It was a good time. And I can't ask for much more at this point. Also, Troy Baker, you're the GOAT, dude. You're insane. You're incredible at what you do. Keep it up. It's amazing. Fumi Games, I think I'm pronouncing that right. You guys killed it. It may not be my favorite, but I think it is fantastic. I think it is wonderful. But guys, if you want to see more, like, comment, subscribe, talk to me. And also, if you guys have played Mouse BI for Hire, come on, talk to me. Let's tell me in the comments how you feel. I appreciate you guys. Goodbye.